Hi, this is Allie from Allie Cats Crafts. I'm here to bring you a video tutorial on the Jolly Holly stamp die and embossing folder bundle. What you'll get is stamps, and it has the bells, the poinsettia, the holly. Have a happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, joy, bright and happy Christmas wishes, and then Merry. And you could do like Merry Christmas, put any combination you want there. The little greenery, holly and jolly. May the spirit of the season bring you hope, happiness, and love. Wishing you and yours all the best. The dies that come with it will cut out the bell, the holly, and the poinsettia, and also this leaf. And I'll also cut out the word joy. You'll get an embossing folder to where you could take and set this part in here, and it locks in really good, and that dies and embosses this and makes so that these leaves here will pop up. Watch my first video and you can see what I'm talking about. Or you could take it out and just emboss it just like that without cutting it. So there's two options to this, which is really nice. And it's easy to put it in, but it's kind of hard. You got to kind of like move it around till you get it to it sticks in there like that. And then you put it in your embossing machine. Very fun and easy. We're going to make 2 cards this evening. And we're going to start with this one first. This one, I used the DSP from the pack called Traditions of Christmas. And if you don't have this, you should get it. And it comes with 12 sheets, 2 of every design. And that's one of the designs, that's the other design, that's the other design, and that's the other design, and you flip it over and they're different. Here's the back side of one. You know what? I will just show you, actually. Let me just get it out and show it to you. That way you know, because the last time I did not show. So you have this one and that one. And then you have that one and that one. And you have this one and this one. They're all beautiful. They're just all really pretty. Then there's this design with that backing. And let's see, there's another one in here. Trying to pull out all the papers. And then there's this one where it's similar to that one, but it's not as pink. And then there's that backing. So that's the 6 designs with 6 different backings. And no matter what combination you use, it's going to be beautiful. That's all I got to say. It's going to be really pretty. So Traditions of Christmas, you need to get that. We're going to start with a card base. That's 5.5 by 8.5. Scored at 4 1/4. Sorry about that. I need a drink of water. And then the ice came in my mouth. I had to chew it. It's, inevitable. So here's the dimensions. We're going to start with this card right here. So the next one is this gold layer, which is 4 1/8 by 4 1/4. The next one is 3 7/8 by 4 1/4. Now this is part of the designer paper. See, that's the back. I'm going to use that side. So we're going to start by gluing these down to the white card base. Now I could have, if I wanted, cut something out of there and save my gold, but I didn't want to do it this time. I should have, but I just want to make this video so bad. I didn't want to take the time to figure out what I'm going to cut out of the middle. I could have cut joy. Just thought, as I'm thinking about this, I could have done that. Darn it. That's okay. Make sure it's going the right way. Because you have like a 1/4 inch border-ish. I think it's an 1/8 of an inch. So put that on there, just like that. And then you're going to layer this one on top. Make sure you get the right way. I want it to go that way. All the way around. This is going to be a very simple card, but very pretty. Oh, shoot, I forgot something. Hold on. I have to put my ribbon on here before I do anything. And I hadn't really decided. I was thinking I could put this. Let me get my little this thing. I can't remember what it's called right off. But let me make sure I'm going the right direction. It's going to go that way. So I'm going to put it down like that. So I want to put this one in a big bow or this one. But I kind of like this one. I think it's going to be this one. So I'm going to stick that down there. And then I want to take and bring it around. Tie it. Just like that. Make it into a bow. It's kind of loose. I don't want that. So I'll redo it. Bring it over a tad bit more maybe. Give myself a little more room. Okay, let's try that again. Taking hold of that hand. And I bring that little part up. This ribbon's kind of stiff, so it's hard to kind of keep it where I want it to do the bow. So now you know what happens when you have a stiff ribbon. It'll work out. You just have to work with it a little bit more. That's all. That's just work with it a little bit more. Eventually it'll bend to your will, so to speak. It'll do what you want to do. If it doesn't, then get a different ribbon. Not all's lost, right? There we go. I did it. Not so bad after all. I'll trim it. Trim this side. I got a cute little bow. Puffy a little bit. There. I can pull this up and I could glue it to that. Okay, let's re-glue that again. This thing that Lori gave me is amazing. And it's I can't remember what it's called. But it's a must-have. And I didn't realize that I must have it. I've done so many new techniques on it that it's great. That's all I got to say. It's really good. And I don't get glue everywhere now. And that's what I like about it. So I'm going to put this right in the middle. See, it wouldn't have looked right without my ribbon back there. I had to do that. Okay. So there we go. There's that so far. Stick it down really good. Okay. And then I'm going to get, I don't need these anymore. See, I was debating whether this one, but I kind of like that one better. It really stands out more. Okay. Now, Stampin' Up! Has a really good ribbon that looks like this. But it was too thin for what I wanted. I wanted a little bit thicker, so I went with another brand. I wish Stampin' Up! Would give us... They did give us this, but it has a green tinge to it, but when we put it on there, you couldn't tell. And this is really good ribbon, by the way. I just wanted something thick that will really stand out. That's what I was going for. So the next thing I want to do is I want to bring in the word Merry Christmas. I got to get my little Stampin' Paris mat out. And get ready to stamp that out. Like I said, this is going to be a very fast, easy, fun card. So I'm going to take and I'm going to get as even as I can in the middle. Hold it down and there it is. Merry Christmas. I use the saying out of this kit. So that's what makes it very pretty. Oh, and I forgot something. There was one other thing I wanted to do. Almost forgot. I had bought this at Dollar Tree. I don't know if it was this year or whenever, some year. And I have never used it. I've been wanting to use it. These little poinsettias. So I wanted to take and put it on the card right there. I almost forgot it. So I'm going to put some glue on it. Thought that would add a little extra to it. There we go. A little more sparkle. So I like that. See how pretty that is? It's a very pretty card. Now let's do the inside. Inside will be very fun and easy too. So I have the saying that says, may the spirit of the season bring you hope, happiness, and love. And I'm going to stamp that. I haven't used it yet, so I'm going to get it all squishy, squishy. That looks good. And I need to get a good look at this one and stick it right about there. Perfect. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my little leaves. And I need to have my watercolor ink here. And I'm going to put one right there and one right here. Bring in my little markers. I think it's garden green. I'm getting familiar with the names. I'm just gotta remember. And sometimes by looking at the lid, you really can't tell what color it is. You kind of tell, you get an idea. I know it wasn't Mossy Meadows or anything like that. Now, I'm not the best colorer, but I do okay. And what's nice about these cards, they're handmade. No one's going to judge me that I know of, but I don't care. It's the thought that matters. If people do different things on their cards and they give it to me, I don't criticize them. I just go, oh, they're still learning. Or maybe it just didn't work for them. And it's okay. Because you see my mistakes, I try and cover them up. I'm real about my videos. I just love making cards. So if I make a mistake, I don't stress out about it because it doesn't matter. It's just fun to make and give away. And 90% of my friends, or probably 100, just think they're amazing and they love them. And they don't think about if they see a mistake. Or half the time they don't even see it. We see our own mistakes. We are our worst critics, so to speak. We're the one that criticizes ourselves. So there's that card. And I love that poinsettia. So let's move on to the second card. This one's going to take a little bit more work, but not too much. This one, I'll bring out these measurements here again, is the card base is 8.5 by 5 and 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Now there's ink there. Don't worry about that. It's going to be covered up. The first layer is red, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4. The second one is green, 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And the third is, I use the embossing folder. I told you about that, but I did not put the die in there. That is 3.5 by 4 3/4. The next layer will be this one. This came out of the die cuts. It's these two. The bigger one is the green one, and that measures out at 2 3/4 by 3 inches. And the smaller one is that one, which is 1.5 by 2 3/4. So if you don't have this set, you can make one similar to this, and that's the sizes you'll need for your dies. Or you can just cut it on your paper cutter, whichever you choose. It's really up to you. And I bump the camera as I always do, right? My jacket's all crumpled up in my chair. Okay, so you'll glue the red piece down first. Or I think it's Poppy Parade. I forgot to look up the colors. I'm sorry. And then there's Grassy Green is the next one. I'm going to put this on here. Now it's a closer border than normal. And I did that on purpose. Actually, it's not. It's the normal. It's a 1/4 of an inch away, or a 1/4 of an inch, or no. Well, it's an 1/8 of an inch, or 2/8, something like that. I don't know exactly. Okay, I think it's 2/8, because it's 5 1/4, and just a little bit down. So it's a 1/4 of an inch. Oops, I want to do this one next, the green one. And that's a little bit more down. They're all even, so they even out, look really pretty. So I'll put the garden green down as the next color. And that's the next size down. Okay. That all lined up there. And then we have our embossing piece, which is the next size down, 1/4 of an inch. This is embossed. I'm going to put a little bit more glue on this one. Okay. Put that right there in the middle. Even it all out. Look at your corners and everything. Okay. The next thing, you're going to stamp this with your get my mat there, with that same stamp that we did on the inside. May the spirit of Christmas season bring you hope, happiness, and love. And I think I'm going to put it in green this time, because the layer here is green. I thought I'd go with one right up next to it. No, actually I'm going to put it in red, because I forgot this is green. I better put it in red. No harm, no foul, right? So I'm going to put this right in the middle if I can. Look at it real close and hold it down. And there we go. Oh, that turned out really good. Very happy with that. Okay, then I want to glue this down and then dimensionalize that. So I'm going to glue this down first. Put that in the middle. Okay. The next thing I want to do is I want to stamp out the holly leaves on this piece of paper. Use my StazOn, because that's for watercolor markers, which I will be using watercolor markers to stamp it. And then I'll die cut it. So I'm going to stamp 1 and 2. Cover up my ink and turn it upside down. That's a cloth pad, so you really need to make sure that it's turned upside down. So I'm going to bring in my little mini stamp, my die cut machine, because I could do it right here. Whereas the bigger one, I don't like to bring it over. Wrong pads. Oh, they're up here. And I'm going to grab my die, which I set over here because I was cutting with it earlier, and put it on there. Get it lined up the best I can. Actually, I want to color them first, then die cut it. Almost forgot. Set that aside. So we will color this. In the garden green. Like so. Love these markers. Thank you, Lori, for them. They're amazing. You can't do big areas, but for this size, this is like so perfect. Because you can't blend them together with the other ones. That's the problem. And that's what the blenders are for big surfaces. But this one is nice. I really like it. I'll get my real red one out. I don't want that tip. You have to be careful when you use a brush. You notice how I don't go straight up like that? You just go to the side. With this one, you could do either way. And that's okay. I hope I'm in frame. I just realized, yeah, I am. Good. I sat down for a second because my back is hurting a little bit. And every time I stand up or try to stand up, I bump my camera, so I've been trying to sit down a little bit more too. But I gotta make sure I'm in frame for you. Okay, get that there. Put the tape on. Put it in here. I'm gonna have to get some more of these little mats because they're starting to curl up again. And then I can send it through here. Okay, get in there. It's getting caught on the paper. There we go. I should have trimmed it, but I didn't. Okay, so there's one cut out for the card. And then we'll do the next one. Get it all lined up nicely. I have to use washi tape because it'll just move around. Okay. And that's that. So I have my second one all cut out. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I want to glue one right here and one right down there. So I'll put a little glue right there and put it right there. And then one right here. Put it down there. Grab my dimensionals, which are right under here. That's how I put them right there. Put a few of these guys on. There we go. I really like this card. Okay, I'll put it right in the middle. Like so. And that's the card. Well, not all the way. I still have a couple other things to do. But I could, you know what, I'll just do it right now. So I'm going to take my little dots that I colored last time. I'm going to put one right there. Another one right here. One right there. Oops. Okay, and that one's all decorated. Now let's throw a few on here. Put one down here. And one right there. One, oops, right there. This one I think I'll put an extra one because I should have put another one. Let me see, right about there. And that's 4, so now I have to do one more. So that will make it 5 right there. So that one's decorated and the inside of that one's done. Let's stamp the inside of this one. On this one, we're going to grab our Merry Christmas. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put this other one on here. Here we go. May the spirit of the season bring hope, happiness, and love. And we will, again, stamp our holly on there. Let's get this ink out again. And here it is right here. Put one right there. And one right here. Okay. Close up that ink. Turn it upside down. Very important to do that. I need to close up my glue so it doesn't dry up. And then I will color these really quick. Just like that. Now grab the green. Just do that. Just kind of color in the leaves. Just like this. Looks really good. I'm loving it. This whole stamp set comes with all the sayings. I don't really have to pull anything from anything else, which I really like that. So there's that card. Now I'll grab 2 envelopes, which are right over here. I've learned to put my envelopes right close to me. And we will decorate the envelopes really quick. Bring my Stampin' Pierce thing back in. I did not do that last time. I'm very lucky I did not mess up my card. Where's mine? Here it is. I want to do some greenery on it. And I think, where's my poinsettia? It's right here. Let's do a poinsettia on this one, because that's going to go for that one. One there. And there. That'll be that envelope. Let's do some greenery on the other one. Oops, there's the greenery. Put some there. And I think I want to go across the bottom. I really like doing that. So we'll kind of go like this. Just for fun. Make it a fun envelope, right? There we go. That's a fun one. Hang up. I'll clean my stamps in a minute. Okay, so this is what we did this evening. Here's our 2 envelopes. Very cute. Here's the first card. I love it. Merry Christmas. May the spirit of the season bring you hope, happiness, and love. Here's your second card. Did a little bit of embossing and put the same sentiment. May the spirit of the season bring hope, happiness, and love. And then I put the same thing on the inside. Just, it's a really cute card, different and pretty. And that's 2 more cards. Thank you for watching. If you want to get this set, go to stampinup.com. Look up my name, Allison Clark in Nocona, Texas. And if you'd like to buy it from me, that would be great. If you don't, that's fine too. If you're a demonstrator, go get it by yourself and see how much fun this is. Have a great time with it. Okay? Have a great evening. Thank you so much for watching. Please share it and like it, okay? Bye.